I looked down to see Deon sneaking into the garden, frantically searching as though he was trying to hide from someone. It was quite a comical sight, especially considering the fact that he was actually a toy bear. Oh, Deon, I'm guessing he's hiding from Miss Maria. I would have laughed if it weren't for the desperate look he gave me. Deon, what on earth are you doing? Hiding from the demon. I knew it. What's up, guys? My name's Jagnil, and welcome back to Locked Hearts. So that's where we left off. We started Deon's route. Deon is such a cute little stuffed bear. We got to hold him in our arms because he couldn't really walk that well, and that was so cute. So he flirted endlessly. But yeah, I think safe to say that Deon is okay so far. But we're gonna continue on. So let us go on right now. I stared at the beautiful flowers and bushes around me and let out a long sigh. Oops. I accidentally quick-saved. It had been 5 days, and I was still on the deluxe estate. Sitting in the grass somehow made me feel trapped, and suddenly the thought of never leaving this place again became a lot more real. I won't be able to follow my dreams and become a chef at Glendale if we can't break the curse. I would die of old age and boredom, surrounded by nothing but toys. There's no way I'm staying here while a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity passes me by. I'll go ask Miss Maria and the others if there's any way for the curse to break. But my hope died at the reminder that they were still cursed after 7 whole years. That meant they still hadn't found a way to break it. Sulking, I touched a few flowers, stroking their petals with my fingers. The sun was out, but I still felt cold and dismal. So, I'm doomed then? I stood up to leave, but a voice stopped me in my tracks. Oi! I looked down to see Deon sneaking into the garden, frantically searching as though he was trying to hide from someone. It was quite a comical sight, especially considering the fact that he was actually a toy bear. Oh, Deon, I'm guessing he's hiding from Miss Maria. I would have laughed if it weren't for the desperate look he gave me. Deon, what on earth are you doing? Hiding from the demon. I knew it. The demon? Also known as Miss Maria. Oh, right. Is she really that dangerous? Uh-huh. You don't want to come across her when she's mad. He was not wrong. My cheek throbbed at the reminder of her fury. Well, don't just stand there. Help me! No way! I remember Miss Maria saying Deon never volunteered to help, and suddenly had suspicions Deon was guilty of something. What? You dug your own grave, and I'm not planning to share it with you. I'd rather not involve myself in your mess, thank you very much. But... Deon gazed at me with puppy dog eyes, silently pleading with me to help him out. No, you will not use that one weakness to lure me into your trap. I looked away. That won't work on me, baby bear. Please. I glanced at him and he continued to looking at me with the sad eyes. I bit my lower lip. Why did he have to be so cute? Fine. Oh, yes. Deon shouted in victory. He was such a sly little bear. I couldn't help but smile at him. There you are. Ooh! Got caught. We both froze, eventually gathering enough courage to turn towards the source of the voice. Oh, it's Royal. Okay. Royal strode towards us with his arms folded over his chest, looking annoyed. Very annoyed. Phew, it's just you, Royal. You gave us quite a scare. Oh, you should be scared, all right. I'm handing you over to Miss Maria. What? Uh-oh. Royal effortlessly picked up Deon in his arms, ignoring Deon's constant thrashing as he sauntered back to the house. And he completely ignored me. Let me go, old man! Don't you dare hand me over to her! Royal snorted. Well, it's either you or me, and I'd rather save myself from her. How could you betray your best friend like this? Royal stopped and stared hard at Deon. I was expecting to hear a retort from Royal, like he always does with Deon, but instead, he let out an exasperated sigh and put him down. Oh, I didn't expect that. I was expecting a retort as well. Well, this best friend of yours has been in too much trouble covering for you. Deon snorted this time. So always gets away with it. Because he's the master of the house, idiot! Deon flinched at his words. I blinked. I could not explain it, but I felt strange, like there was a story behind Royal's statement, not just the insult. However, the moment was fleeting. Whatever shadow that seemed to be there lifted away. What you did to Miss Maria was stupid and dangerous. I really admire your guts. Deon smiled at him, his tension gone too. That's why you adore me so much, right? Royal gave him a disgusted look and kicked his side. Ah, hey! I bit back my laughter. So this is how butlers treat their masters nowadays, huh? How amusing. But then again, seeing the two of them like this really is entertaining. It is! Sometimes it seems like all they do is argue with each other. But I think the truth is, they're actually really close, even if they don't want to admit it. You! I straightened myself when Royal thrusted a paw in my direction. My smile faded at his harsh tone. What are you smiling at? Nothing, Mr. Grumpy Bear. Royal shot me a glare, but didn't say anything more. He turned to Deon once again. Go now before I change my mind. I knew you couldn't resist me. Deon beamed at him, then turned that charming smile on me. Let's go, love. Okay. I was unsure of what I'm supposed to do next, and when I looked at Royal, he gave me a nod, a silent gesture telling me to help Deon. I scooped Deon into my arms and bolted from the garden. You owe me big time for this. How about a kiss from yours truly? No. I groaned, rounding the side of the mansion. No thanks. Why? I'm sure you'll love it. You're a bear! Just tell me when we're supposed to hide, where we're supposed to hide before that demon nanny of yours finds us. Deon was silent for a moment before finally saying that he knew the perfect place. He urged me to hurry, and soon I was running through the mansion. Remind me why I agreed to this again? Because you couldn't resist my charms? Huh? Oh my god, Deon. I didn't argue anymore. Right. What did you do anyway? Well, I may or may not have poured a bucket of water over Miss Maria. You know how it is with cats and water. That's not the point, okay? I shuddered, fearing Miss Maria's wrath now that I had helped the criminal involved. Why would you even do that? He just shrugged nonchalantly, as though dumping water on Miss Maria was something he did every day. I was bored and I wanted to do something fun. I was getting tired of playing with Royal and Miss Maria was the first one I saw. You know what happened next. That probably wasn't a very smart thing to do. But I don't think I'm in any position to scold you because I've done the same thing before. I didn't think Miss Maria deserved the same fate as the pervert for my last job, but I didn't have a chance to elaborate. Well, what do you know? Great minds do think alike after all. We're definitely perfect for each other. Shut up, man! You mean not perfect to become your owner? I meant as my soulmate. I did not expect Deon to be so matter-of-fact when he replied that I almost sputtered my reply. I managed to speak clearly in the end. And how did you even came up with that conclusion, Mr. Bear? He lifted his head proudly as he spoke. My gut feeling. Sometimes I don't know if I consider him crazy or delusional. Probably the latter. I quickly decided before changing the subject. So you and Royal are best friends, huh? Sometimes, although we're enemies most of the time. I guess you would call us frenemies. You know, like friends but enemies? Yeah, I get it. I gave him an odd look. You two sure are weird. So we're told. Here we are. He indicated a door with his paw. He handed me a small key. I don't even know where he kept it this whole time. I opened the door and ducked inside. Oh. My eyes widened when I saw a piano sitting in the center of the room. This must be the conservatory. I took a step back as a familiar pain began in my chest. Phew, we're safe now. How can you be so sure? I just know that we are. I shuddered inwardly. I just hope I won't be involved in this mess he put himself into. But then again, I did help him hide from Miss Maria, so that makes me his accomplice. I looked at the piano once again, and that heavy feeling swelled in my chest. I willed myself to shut off the painful memories of the past. Please, not now. Do you like music, Aura? I flinched, but then tried to smile away my discomfort. Why do you ask? Not reason. I just noticed the look in your eyes. I blinked. Am I really that obvious? What should I do? I'm not sure I want to bring up what happened in the past. Save, of course. I think we should tell him the truth. Well, my father was a musician. Was a musician? Don't tell me he... I'm afraid so. That's why I'm not fond of the piano anymore. Because it reminds me of him. It brings back a lot of sad memories about how he... died. I'm sorry to hear that, love. For me, music brings back good memories. It's strange, isn't it? My mother loved playing the piano, so every time I come here, it reminds me of the happy moments our family shared while my mother was still alive. Deon hopped onto the bench and gently stroked the lid over the keys, his expression wistful. Our father was always so cheerful and kind before Mother's death. Of course, I'm the only one who remembers because Soul and Gold were still too young at the time. And the father they came to know was already the cold and heartless one. Aw, that sucks. Oh, I'm just rambling now, aren't I? But it's just, I find it so easy to talk to you, Aura, as if I just found a long-lost friend. I smiled at him, stepping closer to the piano. Seems like you had a lot of fun back then. I did. If only I could turn back time. Deon was silent for a while. So you don't hate music then? Not really. I just tend to avoid anything related to it whenever possible. I see. So there's still hope then. Deon beamed, bright as sunlight. Eh? For you to like music once again, I promise you when I turn back to human once again, I'll play you a very special song. You play the piano? Sure do, love. If my paws function the same as human fingers, then I would have already played one for you. Right now, I can only play a couple notes at one time. I do hope I still remember how to play it, though. Deon stared at his paws wistfully. This room is my special place, you know. You're the first to come here after we were cursed. Besides me, of course. It had been locked since Mother's death, and I'm the only one with the key. Really? I'm afraid so. Oh, I know. This will be our secret place from now on. Eh? I don't think I'm worthy enough to be here. You're special, Aura. For me. That's why I want to share this place with you. He cast a glance at the piano, his eyes filled with longing. I almost reached out to pat his head, but I stopped myself. So I'm a special friend then? Probably. Or perhaps you wanted to be something more, love? No? Thank you. He grinned at me. I groaned inwardly. It didn't feel quite right when a teddy bear flirted with you. That's exactly why I didn't choose Deon in the first place. Forget I asked. Deon chuckled beside me. I couldn't help but smile. Music. Father always told me that music made his life full of colors. I believed that too. But when he and Mother left me, my life became dull. I saw things in monochrome. Looking at Deon and his cheerful and optimistic self, I couldn't help but feel like my life might have been a splash of color once again. Oh, that's cute. Oh. Another day passed and I was no closer to breaking the curse, so I went to one place where I was hoping to find some answers. The library. Books do hold important information, right? Maybe I'll find something. Anything. Royal was arranging some books when I got there. It felt intimidating being in the same room with him, but for my sake, and theirs, I'd endure this grumpy bear's presence. I began browsing through the shelves. The table I'm using is now piled with books that held no clue to breaking the curse. What sort of books would have information on breaking spells anyway? Fairy tales? Perhaps Gold is a princess and she's just waiting for a kiss from her prince. This is hopeless! I slumped on the table and frowned. Hey, you better make sure you put those books back to where they belong. I scowled at him. I will, Mother. Royal went back to what he was doing, but not before giving me a deadly glare. Oops! I wondered how Deon was able to get along with him. He was moody, grumpy, and scary. Well, if we were able to get along with Royal in his route, I'm pretty sure. The complete opposite of Deon. So, how did you and Deon become best of friends anyway? None of your concern, girl. And he brushed me off just like that. I took a deep breath and tried again. But you are his friend, right? Or so he claims. Are you not? Royal stopped what he was doing, his shoulders relaxing. A mere butler like me didn't deserve his friendship, yet he still offered it to me. He treated me as an equal, not as a servant. Seems like he's just one lonely fellow. That's why he even has me as a friend. I was surprised that Royal revealed so much when he was this reserved and grumpy. You think Deon is lonely? Thinking of Deon's bright and cheerful attitude, it was hard to imagine that he was lonely. But then again, anyone can mask loneliness with a smile. Probably. Lord Sol and Deon used to be so close together that... Royal quickly stopped himself and glared at me. You weren't supposed to hear that. Eh? Don't you dare say a single word about this to him. I raised my hands in surrender. I won't. Sheesh. Sol and Deon used to be close. Well, it's only natural since they are brothers, so why have they become so distant? I shook my head. I was supposed to focus on breaking the curse, not meddle in their personal affairs. I resumed to searching for clues, to no avail. Seemed like the library is now off my list. Though I did not expect to find any easy answer, the disappointment weighed heavy in my chest. I went back to my room, defeated. There you are, love. I noticed Deon standing outside my door, obviously waiting for me. Hey there, Deon. And will you please stop calling me that? I thought he would stop using that nickname after a while, but it seemed like it had become his favorite word since I came here. You don't like that name? How about Honey then? Or, god damn it, or perhaps, I don't know. I groaned, touching my fingers to my temples. I don't want your weird nicknames. I simply want to be called by my name. But everyone already calls you that. He protested. I almost giggled when he puffed out his fuzzy cheeks. You're special to me. That's why I want to call you something special as well. I felt an impending headache. Deon continued talking, oblivious to my frown. Which reminds me. Deon glanced around as if making sure that we were alone. I raised a brow at him, wondering what he was up to this time. When he spoke again, his voice was low. Meet me out here tonight. Eh? Why is that? It's a surprise. Just promise you'll be here, okay? I stared at him for a long time, thinking back from that moment when he asked me to hide him from Miss Maria. One couldn't hide from her forever, especially if you were living under the same roof as her. I was spared from her wrath, but I didn't think I would be lucky the second time. You're not planning to do anything stupid again, are you? Because if you are, I don't want to get involved this time. Of course not. I won't do anything to hurt you, my love. Ah, it seems like both of you are getting along well. Sol! Oh, my soulmate. I turned and saw Sol walking toward us, greeting us with his usual warm smile. Yes, we're getting along really, really well. Right, love? I apologize if my big brother gets you into trouble. He's really good at that. He gave me an apologetic smile. I suspected that Sol's comment was meant to be a joke, but somehow it felt like Sol was serious about what he said. Deon scowled at his brother. Hey! I'm not getting anyone in trouble. Sol sighed, touching a paw to his forehead. Just don't involve Lady Aura with our mess. We already involved enough people with this curse. This silenced Deon, his expression darkening at Sol's words. Seeing how I've never witnessed this side of Deon before, what was happening must be really serious. Sol stared at him, his expression unreadable. Was it sadness? Regret? Anger? The two of them used to be so close according to Royal, so what could have possibly broken their bond? I was curious, but thought it best to keep it to myself. I was in no position to ask that personal question, especially when I was just an outsider here. Well, if you'll excuse me, I have some clothes to sew. At these words, I couldn't keep quiet any longer. You sew? I was so surprised by my own question that I quickly covered my mouth with my hand. But Sol chuckled lightly with his face bright red, causing the heavy atmosphere to finally lighten up. I do. That's amazing! Can I see your works? Perhaps. I can show some of them to you someday. Yay! Sol coughed into his paw. Well then, I'll see you both around. I hope you're comfortable with your stay here, my lady. I am, thank you. Soul smiled at me, then his gaze shifted to Deon, who was still silent. Bye-bye. Soul looked like he wanted to say something, but then he shook his head and finally left. Deon let out a long sigh, as though he had been holding his breath the entire time. If only I had the courage to tell him the truth. Huh? Deon flinched. I was probably not supposed to hear him. Sorry, I was talking to myself. Are you alright? Yes, I'm fine. I did not believe him, but I was not sure how to respond. I better leave now as well. Don't forget to meet me here tonight. Sure. Deon scurried away without another word. What was that all about? I remembered Soul as the heir of the family, but firstborn sons were supposed to hold that title. So why isn't it Deon? Could the family title be the reason why they're so distant with each other? So many questions swam in my head, refusing to leave without an answer. But the problem was I didn't have even one. What have I gotten myself into? I touched my locket for comfort. Mother, I hope I'll get the answers I need soon. Oh. Alright, I think this is a good stopping point for today. We will continue more of Locked Heart in the next video. Well, it seems that maybe they'll be able to turn into their human forms in the next episode. They didn't do it in this one, which is surprising, because all that I've recorded, the second time I recorded it, they would all turn into their human forms. Maybe in the next video they'll turn into human. But anyways, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys would like to see more of my videos, then click subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.